What's going on, Jeromes? We're back. Happy Monday out there, everyone, everywhere. Daily Jeromes live stream, 11 a.m.-ish Central Time, Monday through Thursday, talking Vikings, talking draft, talking everything. Thanks for coming along, make us part of your day. Let's go. Laces out, Dan. Andy Reid must know something we don't. The Chiefs are assembling all the guard Infinity Stones. Now they're talking to Larry Warford, and I guess Kyle Long is kicking out to right tackle. There's some wizardry going on. Kyle Long played right tackle at Oregon. Of course, they signed Jumpin' Joe Thuney. They brought Austin Blythe, apparently talking to Warford. And Andy Reid just said that they could potentially bring back Fisher and Schwartz since their cuts were about salary cap. So, they're playing chess. We're playing checkers. Got no one. George St. Baptiste, how Vikings would it be? How Vikings would it being that we drew Samia and he goes to, the Raiders, let's say, and becomes an all-world right guard? I actually think that if Samia played right tackle, it would be better suited for him. That's just a hunch, though. A huge Janus, but yeah, cutting loose Drew Samia and then he becomes a Pro Bowl type player. Yeah, that would make sense. Hugh Janus. What are your thoughts on Rice admitted using Stickum? Well, that was a long time ago, but yeah, I believe that him coming out and saying that, I understand that it was sort of okay, sort of implied cheating at the time. Lots of people did it. Think of Biletnikoff, but yeah, Randy Moss ain't used no Stickum. That's right. That's all I'm saying. DG. Any chance we take a kicker in the first round? No. On the real, if this year is a bust, who would you consider as a new head coach potentially? I would consider Bieniemy, Lincoln Riley. If Mike Tomlin ever got fired from the Steelers, I'd be all in. Be like 2 seconds. Bam, bam. Brian Daboll. Yeah, I think Brian Daboll should have got a gig last time around. I think him in the Chargers job would have made a lot of sense, but whatever. Do you get the feeling they draft AVT and is going to be a starting left tackle? Nah. If they draft AVT, I think he'll be a guard, and then you got Ezra as your left tackle. Ethan Griffith. Instead of Darrisaw, I believe that Ezra can be a stud left tackle, so I would rather get 2 guards in the draft. Do people not believe in Ezra? Blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's any aspersion on Ezra. It's just that Christian Darrisaw is a better prospect than Elijah Vera Tucker. Darrisaw is a better prospect than Landon Dickerson or Wyatt Davis or whatever. So I think that it's more about getting the best talent as opposed to drafting a specific position. Eric Anderson. The more I look at the O-line possibilities, I really think that Udo and Hinton are going to be competing for a starting spot, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that as well, but also I would like other options. I would like fallback options and contingency plans just in case that doesn't quite pan out. But yeah, especially Oli Udo in year 3, let's get that thing going. Pulford Skull. Write that down. Vikings and Titans will trade first-round picks, and Vikings will get a second-rounder and give up a fourth. Who are they taking at 22? At 22? Tevin Jenkins, Jerome Owusu-Koramoah, maybe Sam Cosmi, maybe Radens, maybe Dickerson, maybe Jason Away at that stage, maybe Caleb Farley falls that far. 22 is a fun spot. M. Kisganoit, I feel like I am the only one not too high on Mond. I don't really think that he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. I like Mond. I'm not over the moon for him. I get that he has a big arm. You're worried about the frame. You're worried about the consistency, and that the fact that he never really progressed over his 4 seasons at Texas A&M. I understand that the Aggies were ranked like 5th last year, but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't get superstar vibes. But of course, we've been wrong before. Newsrad G. You are now on the clock. What's your final answer? Keep the pick and pray for the best, or trade it for... so this is confusing. Orlando Brown Jr. is also called OBJ. So depends on who's on board. If Darrisaw or Slater is on board at 14, I'll just take them. But if they're not there, I'll flip it for OBJ. Rob E. Would you trade out of the first round for 2 seconds and a third? I trade 14 for 35, 55, and 75. So that's the Jaguars? Yes, I would do that. Actually, wait, is that the Jaguars? That's not the Jaguars. Is that the Dolphins? I should probably know that. Actually, I think it is the Dolphins. When she loved me. No, what am I smoking? Or are these just hypothetical picks? It's whatever then. Chris Danny Hansen. We Vikings fans always remember the Gary Anderson miss in the 98 NFC title game as the reason we lost, but what about Danny Green's decision to take a knee and go to overtime? Yes, and also lack of aggression at various times throughout the game. Yeah, that's... Yeah, Gary Anderson should have made the kick, and Danny Green should have been more aggressive, especially since overtime was sudden death back then. Sam Salinger Skull, how long do you think Kirk will stay with the Vikings? I think for the next 2 years, and then he'll be out of contract, and then I think the Vikings will move on. Also, how many of those years do you think he'll be starting? Both. Skull from Austria, Love Channel. Hey, thank you. OTM Snipes. If Blair Walsh makes that field goal, I think the Vikings make a deep playoff run. Thoughts? Let's take a look. Because the Vikings would have gone to Arizona, I believe. NFL season. Talk about playoffs, playa. Because that was the year that Carolina went on and took on the corpse of Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Yeah, so the Vikings got through. They would have played Arizona. Packers would have been at Carolina. And then the Vikings at Carolina in all likelihood for the NFC title game. Because remember, that season was the year that on Thursday night, the Vikings played the Cardinals really close. And the Vikings and Teddy had a shot on a final drive. Teddy was putting together a game-winning drive, and then Matt Khalil just let Dwight Freeney ole. And that was when Norv called another 7-step drop. Just disgusting. But yeah, if the Vikings had held on or made that kick against Seattle and moved on to Arizona, I think that would have been a hell of a ball game. I think the Vikings would have had a great shot there. And then, Carolina was tough that year, man. Carolina was out just completely whipping people's ass. But, that could have been a game. Could have been a decent game. But we'll never know. Next up, Griffin career update on Gladney. I have not heard anything. Nada. A. Woods TV. If Mac Jones is on board for us at 14, Slater, Darrisaw, and Sewell are all gone. Do you think we take him or trade down if New England is in him? I think that would be a clear trade down spot. Potentially even just flipping picks with New England, just so to make sure that New England isn't jumped in that spot. Where I like Mac Jones. I'm not sold on him. I'm just not. Hey, let us know where we're watching from. We'll give a couple shout-outs. Sam Sound Skull. For the next 10 years, Penne or Trent Williams? Well, Trent Williams is like 34 now. Yeah, Trent Williams. I don't know. Trent Williams is going to be 33. So Trent Williams until he's 43. You think that he's going to be elite for about 4 or 5 more years. I'll take my chances of Penny Sewell just because of age. Like at the end of 10 years, Penny would be 30 as opposed to 43. Patrick Harms, do you have any draft day rituals? I watched the movie Draft Day. It's such a bad and corny movie, but I don't know, it's just good. Where it's a little inside baseball or inside football, as it were, but there's enough like surface level explanation and exposition where the average person, not even a football fan, not even a draft fan, can get into it. Yeah. Purple Vengeance, Super Troopers or Beer Fest? What's your go-to? I respect Super Troopers for being the OG, the first Broken Lizard movie. And I remember there was some delay in the production of the movie, or release of the movie, rather, where it was done, but it wasn't released for like 2 years. And it was before like the internet was the internet. And I just remember finally seeing it, and it was glorious. It was amazing. But I actually do think that Beer Fest is a more entertaining movie. Like in terms of rewatchability, I'll rewatch Beer Fest. Beer Fest is just a great movie. Rudy Peel. If the top 4 playmakers are gone, the top 3 offensive linemen are gone with 4 of the 5 quarterbacks, is it really a reach to take Tevin Jenkins at 14? Not necessarily. Well, given the choice between AVT and Tevin Jenkins, that's pretty close. Positional value goes to Tevin Jenkins. I think just position agnostic, talented player, I would take AVT slightly over Jenkins. But yeah, I understand what you're getting at. Ethan Griffith, with free agent rushers, with what free agent edge rushers are out there to potentially line up across from Daniil, I would rather get a mid-round guy for Dre to coach up and use picks early on. Well, I don't really know who's out there on the market. Most of the people have already been vacuumed up. Clowney got signed. Oh, we don't have that up yet. Spot rack, free agent, defensive ends. All right, so available. Zoom in and enhance. The corpse of Justin Houston, the corpse of Ryan Kerrigan, the corpse of Trent Murphy and Tyrone Crawford, the corpse of Everson, Bruce Irvin. Basically, it's all the old dudes. All the young guys have been picked up. Deion Jordan. How is Deion Jordan 31? No, that does not make sense. Time is a mother. Arden Key, no. Vic Beasley. There's not really anyone on the market that. Wait, Dwayne Smoot hasn't been signed? Hold on. Wait. Smoot re-signed with the Jacksonville. I need to update that. I would have been in on Smoot, but yeah, there isn't anyone on the market that would just walk in and take over Weatherly or Wanham's job. So I think you're sort of stuck. A couple shout outs. Purple Rain Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. What up? Patrick Harm, Cedar Rapids. Pulford Skull, Nashville. Nick Halfman, Fargo. What's going on? Bison. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. Next up. Merchant Robbles. If you could become a GM in the NFL, which team would you want to go to, not name the Vikings? I would take over Jacksonville. Just because of all that draft capital and you're getting Trevor Lawrence, I think that can make your job really easy. Where the GMs that get a lot of credit are the teams that have the high-end quarterbacks because, your job is just so much easier. Like, you could be a real F-up, as we've seen, and just skate on by. Robbie, have I missed any needs for the Vikings roster in this draft? Basically everything. Basically everyone. Yeah. Now, that's pretty much it. 80s, baby. How much do you think it will take to trade back up into the second realistically? Well, let's take a look at the chart. Let's see. Oh, we got Minnesota up. All right, so just by the trade chart, even though, yes, take everything with a grain of salt, the team doing the asking is always going to pay up a little bit more. All right, so calculator. Can we get that on screen? That's whatever. All right, so we got 78, 200 plus 140 plus 56. So the top three picks, 396, get the Vikings up to roughly 50, 51. Yeah, so 396 total is the value of the Vikings 2/3 and first fourth. And that's about it. Even though we rate these third-round picks as having so much value, I mean, it really increases exponentially in terms of value. So if the Vikings want to get into the back end of the second round, what would that be? Got by the chart wise, if they want to get up to Miami at 50, it would cost them 78, all four of the fourths and both fifths. So I don't know if they'll pay that much. Yeah. W Vang 0013, $10 in super chat. I get the feeling we're going to sign Eric Fisher after June 1st. Doogie says they're interested in, but the money just doesn't match yet. Go defensive end at 14, quid he pay. I would understand Fisher. Like, if they can medically check him and make sure that Achilles is going to be good to go, I get it. Probably get him on a 1-year cheap deal. Would take that. And Edge at 14, F you, pay me. Jalen Phillips, I'm in. There we go. Next up, Andy Smith. Any scrappy white wide receivers in this draft? I seem to have lost mine. Thanks, your friend Bill Belichick. Not really. Well, hold on. Let's take a look. I have to look to the back end. Oh, Dax Milne. Duh. Next up, Westworld. What are some teams that'll fall next year? Or fail? I could Seattle falling apart. I could see the Rams hype not living up to it. I could see the Titans falling back down to earth without Arthur Smith. Could easily see that. But also, if they don't get a solid wide receiver too to replace Corey Davis, A.J. Brown gets all that attention. Derrick Henry's another year with that many shots on the body. Could see that. Who else is going to fall? Oh, Packers. Duh. Alex Zeller. Kadro Ezekiel Sluter. Will be returning. Sluter just got cut by the Raiders. Man. I would be in. I don't know if Kirk would be thrilled about it, but also I don't care. Sam Sounders Skull. How long do you think JJ will stay in Minnesota? Forever. Also be a Hall of Famer. Yes. He'll make 12 Pro Bowls to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. 5 first-team All-Pros. Patrick Harms, let's say the Cousins to Niners number 3 rumors are true. They're not. Who would be the best day 1 starter for the Vikings? Let's see, day 1. Probably go Fields. I'll go day 1. I'll go Fields, Jones, Trey Lance. If starter 3 years from now, I'll go Lance, Fields, Jones. If that makes sense. Pulford Skull. Mond at 78 to give his team a chance if Kirk's abducted. I don't even think Mond makes it out of the second round. I think that he'll go a lot higher than people think. Borgals 199 could be for a job. Cascano. Can you rank Boogie Basham, Joseph Asai, and Quincy Roche? I think he just did Basham, Asai, and Roche. Where I like Roche as if you can get him in the 4th round, I think that'd be great value. Asai, I really like Joseph Asai. I don't know why his draft stock is sort of tanked recently. I think he'd be a top 50 guy. I think Boogie Basham's top 40. Jacob Worley. Thoughts on the NFL adopting NBA-style lottery system prevent teams from tanking? Well, in the NBA, it doesn't necessarily prevent teams from tanking either. I mean, you look what the Sixers did. But I guess it would disincentivize specific games. Like if there's a game at the end of the season where if a team loses, they improve their draft stock X number of places or they secure the number 1 pick, then yeah, it would eliminate those 1-for-1 spots. But just in terms of increasing the number of ping pong balls you got, I think teams will still tank. So I don't think it will solve the issue. It would add more programming. The NFL draft lottery would be amazing. Would be amazing TV. They probably stretch that thing out over a 2-night event too. Kane Russell. Who's the most clutch quarterback in this year's draft regardless of competition? Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, as a true freshman, just winning that natty, and he's been through a bunch of wars against some of the best teams in college football, stood his own, stood his ground, stood up. It's been amazing. Mashed potatoes or baked potato? Gotta go mashed. Although a really good oven-baked mashed potato with some sour cream and some chives with a steak, that's pretty good too. Although, twice baked potatoes has entered the chat. Really good too. Christine Hansen. Your opinion on coaches and owners pulling double duty, like Belichick being coach and GM or Jerry Jones being owner and GM? Good idea, bad idea. I think overall it's a bad idea because you simply cannot have enough bandwidth to do both jobs to the best of your ability. Because Belichick has always had rubber stamps like Casario, where they can handle some of the more fine motor stuff. The finer points of it, signing contracts, negotiating, things like that. I think that you can be a head coach / GM where it's more like, hey, I like this guy, I like that guy, get this guy, get that guy. But, I mean, you're not doing as much film work as a real GM or director of college scouting. You do really have to rely on your people. But I think it can work out where Andy Reid and Brett Veach, I think is a good arrangement. Brandon Beane is basically a rubber stamp for McDermott in Buffalo. I think that's been working out pretty good too. But also owner and GM, that does not work. Nah, I mean, Jerry Jones, his ego won't allow him to fire himself as GM. It was looking better when he set it aside for a hot second and brought in Bill Parcells. But ever since Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys parted ways after 2 Super Bowl wins, it hasn't worked out. Hugh Janis. What are your thoughts on Hunter and Wanham on the edge? Yes. I'm very bullish on DJ Wanham in year 2. I think that he can be a starting caliber defensive end. The disappointed Vikings fans. What superheroes would the defensive starters be? see, Harrison would be Captain America. I'm not too well versed in superheroes, so bear with me. Batman would be Kendricks. Or would Kendricks be Aquaman? Because him and Jason Momoa have similar hair. They got that flow going on. Anthony Barr would be Unbreakable. Michael Pierce would be the Hulk. Wait, no. Michael Pierce would be the Blob. Dalvin Tomlinson would be the Hulk. Danielle Hunter would be... what would Danielle Hunter be? Like, what's a superhero with a perfect physique? I don't know, Wolverine? Although, if he had Wolverine's regenerative healing powers last year, that would have been nice. Cameron Tiny Dancer isn't there a really like thin superhero? Or no, Mr. Extendo? God, I'm really bad with superheroes. Isn't there a guy that has extendable arms in the Fantastic Four? Yeah, we'll go with that. Patrick Peterson. I don't know, Spider-Man. I don't know. I should get more into superheroes. DJ Wanham is Drax from Guardians. Sure, why not? I don't know. My logic is not very good here. Is that it? That's it. That is the Daily Jerome's live stream for today. Actually, you know what? Bonus time, since we're a little bit short. Let's just do a mock. Just for schnitz and giggles. Why not? Wait, I just show my bookmarks. Yeah, I did. Anything bad on there? Ha ha! Now we're good. All right. Oh, also, how to cut crown molding. Yeah, that's going to be a B. Because spatial awareness, trying to sync all that up, it's going to be a little tough. But I guess we'll see what happens. Mock draft. Actually, should we not be the Vikings? Should we be... I don't want to be the Packers. That would be the Lions. Why not? Enter draft. Enhance. Gow. I'm Brad Holmes. What up? Dan Campbell. Y'all. F&A. I'm taking Kyle Pitts at 7. F you. Pay me. Now, I do not believe in Jared Goff at all. But, if we can surround him with talent, that means the next... Oh! Elijah Moore? In the second round? Damn. All right, go. So you got 2 playmakers on the outside. You got Kyle Pitts, the unicorn. Jamin Davis is on board. Jamar Johnson. Peyton Turner. Damn. Do we go 3 wide receivers? Let's do it. We'll go Jamin Davis. Linebackers. Chris Spielman loves him some linebackers. All right, now, Jamar Johnson still on board? Okay, sure, why not? This is just going to look like a Vikings mock draft later on. We only got 2 picks left. What the hell? All right, what do we still need? We need edge. We need interior. Forsyth is there. Probably need offensive line help, too. Trey Brown at this stage. We'll go with Digizua. Got the linebacker. We retained Aquara, but we still need some edge help. Take Trey Brown. Do we take Simi Fayoko? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? It's my draft, and I'll draft if I want to. Let's go. Rebuilding the Lions. Brad Holmes. Got future first-round picks all over the place. Love it. Actually, I think the Lions are a blank canvas, and they do have that ability where they can just completely flip the script. That's something that's really enticing to come in if you're Brad Holmes, new GM, Dan Campbell as well. So you got Kyle Pitts, you got Elijah Moore, you got Semi Fayoko. So we got 3 playmakers. Moore is going to be working from the slot. Fayoko hopefully could be that outside Babytron type dude, and Kyle Pitts is going to go all over the place. And I know, you got TJ Hawkinson. I do not care whatsoever. All right, you can run 2 tight ends. You can have Kyle Pitts play de facto wide receiver like Megatron. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You immediately have the best tight end duo in the NFL. Go ahead. Jamin Davis as that linebacker, ironically replacing Jared Davis. So Jay Davis. Jamar Johnson is going to be that safety on the back end. Osa Odigizua can play edge, can play defensive tackle, all over the place. So I'm in. Oh, PFF likes my draft. I can do it. It's going to be a Lions channel. Actually, no, that would be horrible. But that's it. That is the Daily Jerome's live stream for the day. Thanks for coming along. You guys are the best.